Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Tony Plays The Binding of Isaac. I hope everyone's doing alright, everyone's going about their day nice and lovely, you know how it is. I myself am very tired, but not from a lack of sleep for once, surprisingly. I'm actually very tired because today, like I said I was gonna do last night, I didn't record. Oh, that's really good. I made myself, for the rest of the week essentially, food. So I took a very long time to make this recipe that I found, which was essentially like a deconstructed chicken pot pie sort of deal, which one is pretty good macro wise, you know, low calorie, high in protein, lots of veggies, which is really good. So, you know, I'm getting my fiber and intake and stuff like that. Overall, a very good food item that I in my opinion, I think I've made a pretty solid freaking food item. However, excuse me, I had a hiccup. However, you know, we shall wait to see. We shall wait to see how my or you know what? I'm gonna just say it. I made it. It came out fucking good. I made it, and it came out, honestly, damn well. I am surprised. I'm gonna be real with you. I am surprised because I thought with the onion, and it sucks because I got an onion at the store last night, but I looked and the onion kind of wasn't really that good, unfortunately. So a part of me was like, oh, damn, this kind of sucks. I don't really like this. Oh, well, you know. Yeah, you know, I remember chopping up the onion and like grabbing the onion from the store, and I was like, man, this is the only good onion they have. And even then, it's just, it wasn't that good of an onion because it was already kind of going a little green, which I thought meant it was underripe, but it turns out means it might be overripe. And so I was like, oh man, that's a little cringe. But I mean, oh well, you know. I hope it'll turn out well. So I freaking diced up that onion, even though I suck at cutting onions. So I didn't start crying, but my eyes were burning like a son of a gun. And not only that, but like, I'm not gonna lie, some of the onion chunks were like maybe a little bit larger than my liking. But at the end, I was like, you know what, man, this is as good as I'm gonna get it. Oh well. And it's celery too. I'm gonna be real. I remember I bit into the celery, and when I bit into the celery, I was like, man, that's a little, don't know how to feel about that really. I don't think it was bad, but I bit into the celery and it just kind of tasted a little funky or whatever, you know? Raw celery. I bit into the raw celery and it tasted a little, not suspicious or anything. Like, I don't think it was like laced or anything like that. But I ate it and I was like, I feel like maybe, you know, maybe it's just not at its peak. We're gonna go Angel Deals. For Beast, we're going Beast, by the way. For Beast, we're gonna need as many items as we can muster up. So I think Angel Deals is the better method here. But yeah, I bit into it and I was just like, man, this, I don't think it's going to, I don't know. I kind of regretted it. Like when I remember chopping up the celery and I was like, you know what? Let me take a bite of the celery. Let me see how it is. And I remember taking a bite and I was like, oh, this not going to be it, huh? I'm going to make this item and I'm going to regret it. And it turns out I was wrong. Turns out I was freaking wrong. I made the item and I was like, damn. This shit mad good. And honestly, I can barely taste anything. Like, I don't know if it's because it's not like a mush, you know? Oh, Chef Tony, you know what it is, guys. But it's not like it's a mush per se, but I was, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like, I cooked up the veggies. So what I did is I chopped up celery, I chopped up onion, I chopped up carrot. What is that called? It's like a Mirpoix or something. I don't know. I'm not trying to be fancy or whatever. Here, I'm being genuine. I believe that combination of items is called like a Mirpoix, correct? I don't know what it means, but it's like usually each certain cuisine has its like basis in most dishes. I think Mirpoix is that. It's celery, carrots, onion. Let me look it up if I'm true. Mirpoix is a French cooking term for a mixture of diced carrots, celery, and onions, gently cooked in butter or oil to create an aromatic flavor base. Yes. So I had a Mirpoix. You know, I made my Mirpoix, and then I was like, man, this is pretty alright. You know, in my mind, I was like, this is pretty fucking good. Like, it was starting to smell damn decent. So I threw in some God. I threw in some quote-unquote minced garlic, aka I sucked at cutting the onions beforehand. I was decent with the... not even decent. I think I was pretty solid with the celery and the carrots. It was just the onions and the garlic. But I was like, alright, I'm gonna just chop this up as fine as I can, considering garlic is so damn tiny. So I did my best. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I did my best. I did the best I could. That's all I can ask for. You know? That's all anybody could ever ask for. And I threw that in there, and like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it was just the way I was making it or what, but shit came out fire. The chicken came out nice and flavorful. As flavorful as like boiled chicken can kind of be, but I mean, still, it was pretty good. Anyways, all I gotta say is, one, I'm proud of myself, you know? I'm proud of myself for making the dish. I was like, man, I low-key, hold on, his writing is this fire, question mark, Tony low-key got it like that? You know what I mean? Like, kind of sturdy with it, or whatever. But anyways, gassing myself up aside. We have to. We have to, man. I'm sorry, donation machine. We have to get you. That's solid. Now we just need a good active item to like make it work. You know what I mean? But regardless, you know, regardless to what I was saying, it was solid, man. You know, I'm gonna be real. I made the food item. One, I'm proud of myself. Two, I'm surprised it wasn't bad. I don't think I'm like bad at cooking necessarily, but I just didn't think that I would make something that I would be kind of proud of. You know what I mean? But like, truth be told, if I'm gonna be real with y'all, I am proud of it. That what I made is something that I would make for, like, you know, I would make it for someone, you know, whether it be my family that like wants to try it, or what. I would make what I made now for someone else, and I'd be happy damn fucking doing it, bro. I'd be damn happy doing it. You know what I mean? Not to male wife out on you guys, but like, slow key the dream, dare I say. You know what I mean? Maybe y'all not tapped into it like me, but that's low key the dream at the end of the day, you know? Where's the standard of like, what's that? Where'd that stereotype of like women being the stay-at-home moms or whatever, cooking food, you know? I'm trying to be the stay-at-home dad, bro. I'm trying to keep my ass home just cooking dinner and, you know, making meals, enjoying my life, one might say. That's how I'm trying to have it handled, you feel me? Or maybe y'all don't feel me. Like I said, maybe y'all not tapped in like me, but it's okay. You don't need to be tapped in like me. You just need to understand even a little bit. But, you know, besides that, dude, like, I'm feeling ecstatic, one. but I'm also feeling mad tired because it took me forever. It was my first time ever making a dish that like required that much. Oh, and it, dude, with mashed potatoes too. I made some mashed potatoes bomb, so good. I think I ate too much of them though, so I'm gonna have to make more to go with the freaking chicken pot pie thing or whatever. But dude, like the broth at the end, you know, put in some cornstarch slurry. It kind of became like a, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? I don't want to say faux gravy because I don't seem right, but you know, it's like kind of like gravy, but not necessarily like gravy. It was really good. And then, you know, I freaking, what's the word I'm thinking of? In my mind, I'm like, well, not even just in my mind. I'm like, damn, this is pretty good. I kind of want to make more because like, I also am aware of the fact that potatoes are like one of the greatest, what is it? It's a spud or whatever. A potato is not like a vegetable or something. It's like its own category. Potatoes, regardless of whatever category it is, potatoes are the GOAT of what they do. It's just peak. You don't need me to say it. It's just peak. You know what I mean? And I know for a fact that I'm not, what I'm spitting here isn't news, you know? I know that y'all know how peak, what's it called, mashed potatoes are. Like, come on, man, let's be real here. I think that's something we can all agree upon. I don't want to say this because I think it's a little mean, but I think I kind of firmly believe it. If you don't fuck with mashed potatoes like that, I low-key have to call you my op or something, you know? Like, I'm gonna be real with you, man. If you don't fuck with mashed potatoes like that, I don't know if I can trust you, really. It's kind of crazy, I know. Might be thinking, Tony, you really can't trust someone who don't like mashed potatoes? Low-key. I'm gonna be real, if I'm being honest with you, low-key. Because how it's like hating on Resident Evil 4, you know what I mean? Like, how can you hate on what is perfection? How can you hate on what is like one of the greatest food items of all time? You know what I just me personally, I just can't trust that. I cannot in good faith trust that as reasonable. What's the word I'm thinking of? Not reasonable doubt, but you know what I mean? Like I just can't, like, something suspicious about that, bro. There's just something suspicious about that, twin. You feel me? Maybe I'm crazy here. Maybe I'm the crazy one. In the world. But regardless, you know, I'm funny enough, like I said, later down the line, I'm probably gonna go make myself some more, what's it called? Later down the line, I mean like later today, I'm probably gonna make myself some more of that, what's it called? Some more mashed potatoes to go with the, because I'm gonna be real with you, man. That's all I'm gonna be eating. I'm not even joking when I say this. That's like all I think I'm gonna be partaking in. You. Solid. All familiars orbit Isaac, not necessarily amazing. It's decent, but I mean, could be better. Better in a school cafeteria, you know? You guys picking up what I'm putting down? You guys know that video? God, I can't wait. At least tomorrow is a new day, you know, I get to relax. Honestly, I should go to bed fucking early for once, dude. I feel like these past few days, I've been going to bed mad late. And I genuinely couldn't tell you why. I'm gonna be real, I think I genuinely couldn't tell you why. I don't want to be like, oh, Tony's just a lazy sack of shit or whatever. But like, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I think a part of me has just been up too late, low key. Book of Rev with this? Nah, son, is peak. Hold on. Okay, I wasn't thinking of going Mega Satan. Should I? No, I should go Beast, right? I should continue to go Beast here. Taking Beast on this path would be the better move, in my opinion. Yeah, I think so. I think we can come to that consensus. Solid. Good talk, good talk. But yeah, just dude, like, you know, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I'm just... I don't know. I've just been mad fucking tired. I'm not grabbing that shit, bro. I am not grabbing that shit. Earlier, might have. If I got Book of Rev before Data Miner, I guarantee you my ass probably would have data mined Book of Rev. However, now we can't afford to. Can't afford to, bro. That's how you fuck up the vibe or whatever one might say. Oh God. But yeah, I don't know, man. I've just been going to bed too late, in my opinion, these past couple days, and I don't know, bro. I need to fix that. One, I need to fix that. I need to like start drinking chamomile tea or whatever. I don't freaking know, man. You know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm probably gonna maybe keep going to bed late some days, but maybe, you know, maybe over time I'll decide to switch it up, start going to bed a little earlier, you know, most days, one might say. Like maybe today, I don't know. Oh shit, I did tell my friends I was gonna play, what's that game called? A Gentleman's Dispute or whatever. You guys hear that new game? How do you guys feel about those kinds of games, I guess? You know, to like flip the topic slightly, how do you guys feel about those kinds of games? If you don't know what kind of game I'm talking about, let me give you an example. You know, I'm talking all about like your, what's the word I'm thinking of? I'm talking about like your Lethal Company, your Repo, your Party Animals, and now this, your, what's the word? Your Gentleman's Disputes. I once saw a Twitter post, not by myself personally, you know, I actively try and dissuade, that's not the right word. I actively try and avoid most things from Twitter, but I saw this video that was calling these kinds of games like, or not a video, god damn it. I saw a tweet that was talking about those kinds of games or whatever, and this guy was I shit you not, the quote is, he was calling, like, labeling these games as like friend slop or whatever. And I'm gonna be real with you, when I first saw that tweet, I was kind of like, this might be the most chronically online person like out right now, you know what I mean? Like, how you gonna label a fun game you play with your friends as like, yeah, that's a you know what, that's a friend slop. But low key, I don't want to say thinking about it, he low key had a point, because I think he put his point in the worst way ever. But honestly, I think the kid, whoever said that, does have a point to some degree. I wouldn't necessarily call it like friend slop or whatever, but there has definitely been a rise in the kind of indie genre of making a game that sole purpose is to like be played with your friends for a, you know, maybe like not a discernible amount of time, you know, like me and my friends, we played Lethal Company for like, in my opinion, that was the GOAT. Shout out to the person who made that game, but in my opinion, that game is easily the GOAT of all. I'm about to say it for the sake of the argument. That is the GOAT of all friend slop, dare I say. Lethal Company, that's my game. That game has my vote, you feel me? But, you know, in actuality, as I'm saying here, Lethal Company is like, you know, we played Lethal Company for like maybe a month or something. Then Repo came out. We played Repo for like 2 weeks. Then, you know, new game came out. This game, I think it's only the demo or whatever, but this new game is now out. The one I was talking about. What's it called? What the hell was that? Am I tweaking? Hold on. What was that demon spawn? Did y'all see that? Like, when Mega Fatty spawned in, there was like a fucking, like a sigil on the ground, you know? Like the type of shit that like Sam and Dean would put up. What is doing that? Is that a new update? I did have to, what's the word I'm thinking of? When I booted up Isaac today, I did have to like re-accept, what's the word? When I booted up Isaac today, I did have to re-accept the freaking, what's it called, dude? Like the terms and conditions or whatever for like online play, which had me thinking an update came out, but I don't remember like actively installing an update, which is, I guess, kind of crazy. You know, wow, that's kind of insane. Huge update. If this is part of that update, that whatever came out, absolutely wicked update, dude. Being able to see enemy spawn locations in boss rush is sick. That's a genuinely good addition. But oh dude, but yeah, like Lethal Company, played that game for like a month and a half. In my opinion, I still love that game a lot. I would honestly love to go back and play it. There's certain of those like friend games that like you might never go back and play. You know what I mean? Like what was it? There was another one, Party Animals. You guys know the game Party Animals is essentially like Gang Beasts or whatever. Even then, I might low-key I might add Gang Beasts to that term there. Is like, I bought Gang Beasts to play with my friend on PS4. We played it for like a couple times. I never touched it again. We got Gang Beasts on PC so I can play with my friends. Played it a couple times, never played it again, never had any want or like desire to. Party Animals came out, we played Party Animals. Like, I think I can count on one hand how many times we played Party Animals. Never played that game again. I don't know, bro, just something about, like, I'm not against party games as a whole. If anything, I think party games are a very crucial part of having fun in certain games with your friends or whatever, you know? I like party games such as Mario Party or Pummel Party or things like Played Up. Those games, very fun to play with friends, and I think the experience is obviously way better when you play with friends versus like computers or just alone even. But you know, to like get it twisted or whatever, I've played those games more than I have played, you know, any of the other, I don't want to say slop, but you know, any of the other shit. And so a part of me is kind of like, I don't think this game sucks, but like, you know, low key, recent times, you know, a part of me is kind of just like, I don't really want to spend money on these games because I feel like I'm not even gonna fucking play them like that. Excuse my language. But yeah, I just, a part of me doesn't even want to get these games really, because I feel like I'm going to play this game for a little bit and then we're never going to play it again. Same thing happened with Helldivers, although Helldivers is a different story. But I feel like party games is where you fall into that trap like just 10 times easier. In, you know, IMO, in my opinion. I bought Party Animals. I bought Repo or whatever. And we played Repo for a bit. Yeah, Repo's cool. I'm not gonna say Repo's bad or that I was having a bad time anytime we played Repo. It was a fun game. But I will say that, one, compared to Lethal Company, not even on the same level. And two, it definitely, like, the fun, the kind of aspect of like going around, grabbing this, coming back, doing it again, definitely got older, maybe a little faster than other games. And also, I don't know what it is. You ever play a game, or maybe not play a game, but you ever mod something to a point where you're kind of like, this, I don't like this anymore? That's kind of how I felt about Repo. And to an extent, Lethal Company, when me and my friends were kind of playing that. Is I feel like at a certain point, maybe too many mods were added for my liking. And it just got to like, you know, it got to a point where I was like, I can't play this, man, you know? We have gotten to a point where either A, the game is mad easy and we end up going to like level 90 or whatever, just doing whatever we do, and it's like the game has lost all, I don't want to say fun or whatever, but like, you know, it has lost all wonder that I've had. Like, I remember the best part about playing Lethal Company was being like, I don't know what the hell's going on in this game. What is that? What's that sound? Is that a demon? Oh my god, I'm going to die. In my opinion, that was the best part about Lethal Company. Then in Repo, you know, we play that.
Just get over it.
Already saw gameplay or whatever. Already saw this video. Already saw that. It's too late, you know. My whimsy or whatever is like slightly gone, you know, because I've already seen too much. In my opinion, I've already seen too much of the game. I know how this and or that works, and it's like, I don't want to say it's like the burden of knowledge or whatever, because I feel like I'm trying to be too philosophical or like, oh, I'm too smart for my own good, that kind of deal. But it's more in the sense where it's like, I know too much about the game to where the wonder, the curiosity has been drained because I have my answers. You know what I mean? With Lethal Company, shit like that, it took a bit longer to set in because one dude was constantly updating it too, you know. What's the word? There was like little to no counterplay for a long time. Then as soon as the game starts giving you ways to fight back, in my opinion, the scariness goes down kind of like way more. And if the scariness goes down a lot more, then I don't want to say the fun goes down, but in my opinion, half the fun of playing a game like that is getting scared with your friends. You know what I mean? Half the fun is getting scared with your friends, the other half is doing goofy, dumb shit.
Just keep pushing me like this.
But when you have a method of fighting back instantly, like I remember, what we did was we got like this upgrade. We had a mod that like makes it so when you buy an upgrade, it affects the whole team in Repo. And we got this upgrade that makes it so you can, you get more strength. You can like pick up heavier things. And we just all got enough strength upgrades to like pick up random enemies. And what we would do is like, oh, there's an enemy here. Instead of fearing for our life or having that like fear factor, I guess you could say, you know, it was like, oh, enemies here. Okay, everyone walk up to it, pick it up, and just slam it against the ground. Just body slam it on the ground a couple times, and then boom, it's dead. All worry, you know, all fear has now been lost. That we have a pretty much guaranteed way of killing the creature or whatever, you know? And I don't necessarily think fighting back is a bad thing, but you know, I want to get scared of my friends. I want to get scared of my friends. First few times playing Lethal Company and Repo, I was like, dude, this game is peak. Once we started to learn, or like once, you know, we started doing that where we were able to fight back and, you know, actually put up a fight, that's when low key, I'm gonna be real, that's when the party was kind of like, it's losing a bit of the touch, you know? It's low key losing a bit of the touch of what I thought made it so peak. And now there's most likely a good chance that I just never touch Repo again, you know? And it's not the game's fault. It's not the game's fault. It's not the dev's fault or whatever. You know what I mean? Because I know that is a hard-working team of people working on that game. And this is not to like shit on them or be like, oh, you guys made a bad game or anything. You know, you guys made a damn great game. You guys made a very fun game. A game to play with my friends. However, now it feels like every game is a game to play with my friends. That sole purpose is you just, like, I don't want to say have fun, because then I feel like I'm being negative as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, cause I don't want to be like, oh, I feel like the only purpose of this game is to have fun. Because like, what, you don't play games for fun? It's like, no, I do play games for fun. But you know, sometimes it don't hurt to play games with friends that has a little bit of purpose to it. You know what I mean? Like, I like playing zombies with my friend Josh, because one, we both love Call of Duty Zombies, and like, you know, the purpose is either A, new experience via a new map, or B, we're just doing whatever map Easter egg. Download a map off the workshop, do an Easter egg there, or like, you know, what we've recently been doing is we've been going back playing all the older zombie games, doing Easter eggs, and you know, we about to do Buried, bro. We about to do Buried. We tried to do Buried last time we played, but I'm pretty sure that my dumb decision accidentally soft locked it. So, you know, fucking hooray, Tony, in that aspect. Nice job. Nice going there, buddy. You know what? I will say, I think for this next section, I think I do want this. But I mean, well, what can you do, bro? You know, I guess that's what the Tony's saying is like, what can you do? I soft locked myself. Oh well. Last time we played, I'm pretty sure I soft locked it. But in general, you know, there's like, I'm not against having fun. As negative of a Nancy as I fucking sounded there, I'm not against playing games with friends just to have fun. But sometimes I want to play games with the friends that in my opinion, like, serves maybe even only if slightly larger purpose or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I like playing zombies with my friend because zombies is fun, but also we get to play a game that I just thoroughly enjoy. You know, I think I understand what it is. I think I understand where I'm coming from. Tony, you're such a bad friend or whatever. Whatever, you know. Ratio. I think I understand what it is. I think it's not that I am tired of those games or whatever. Those games just don't hit as hard as other games do. You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, why would I be out here playing like Lethal Company or Repo when me and bro can hop on the peak cinema that is like Black Ops 4 Ancient Evil? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I kind of get it now. I low-key get it now. I understand my thought process, where I'm coming from in this instance. Ow. I now understand where I'm coming from, and I have been enlightened. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I have been enlightened. I now look upon games differently, and maybe with a bit more class than most of y'all. I'm being facetious, by the way. I'm being sarcastic. I don't actually think that. This is one opinion that NL has about video games that I personally don't agree with. And every time he goes off and off about this specific point, a part of me in my brain gets a little like irked, because it's like, you know, it's not like the, oh, you must be fun at parties kind of guy, but it's like, you know, like there's more to games than, I get, you know, sometimes it's fun to play a game just to have fun or whatever, which is anti the rhetoric I was spewing earlier. But like I said, I then realized the rhetoric I was spewing earlier as actually more leaning into, what the fuck hit me? The rhetoric I was spewing earlier is leaning more into like the games are fun, however, certain games are more fun, you know? But like I was saying earlier, the NL leans into this like kind of this talking point of like video games are a children thing, you know, like he essentially, the way he talks about it is that like he's gotten too old for video games. Video games is like a kid's thing or whatever, you know, like he doesn't try to delve too deep into that. He doesn't really care too much because why should he, one? And I can kind of see, see the point from there, you know what I mean? Later, let's walk into him. Might be thinking, Tony, why'd you walk into him? Because I have hemolacria and high damage, and I also have varicose veins. So if I walk into an enemy, I take damage, and I shoot like 10 hemolacria shots in his face with Parasite. The damage is bound to stack up a little bit, at least a little bit, you know what I mean? Which is why I just kind of face tanked, bro, for a second there. But regardless, you know, like I was saying, he likes to talk about this whole deal where it's like he treats video games as kind of like they're toys, you know? Video games are toys. They're not, I don't want to say fun, because he definitely has fun with video games, you could tell. But, you know, where it's not that deep, I guess. You know what I mean? Certain games aren't that deep sort of deal. Which I can kind of agree with to some degree, but also to another degree. Video games are awesome. They're great. And I like playing all the good ones with my friends. So a part of me is kind of like, I don't necessarily agree with you, Mr. NL, Mr. Northern Lion, regarding your sentiment on, you know, video games are just toys. But, you know, I'm not here to argue against NL. I'm here to record Isaac. Anyways, we got Redemption and Tainted Judas. Nice. I want to thank y'all for watching. If you guys did enjoy, greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good day and or good night, depending on the time you're viewing this. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.